Just doing a little bit of adjustment here. I don't know, is that light gonna be a problem maybe? That glare gonna bother anybody? Hey, Sarah. All right, we'll get started here in about 5 minutes. I just wanted to go ahead and pop in and say hello and make sure everything was straight. Oh, I forgot my hat. I gotta have my hat. So this is my awesome hat for tonight for my tea party. Some of you may recognize it from a few days ago when a certain intrepid pirate showed up. Go ahead and say hi in the chat if you are here. I'd love to say hello to you personally while we wait for time. I know, Sarah. I love purple too. My bedroom is purple, right? So I have a story about that sometime. Maybe I'll tell you about my dad and painting purple. I see that there are 3 people here, and I see Sarah, and I see myself, but there's somebody else. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Let us know you're there. Just type in. It's going to be fun tonight. I got some paintings to show you, and we're going to talk. Hi, Cass. Okay, well, you won't be able to stay long. I would, that's sad, but I hope you get to stay a little bit. So, oh, we have about 3 more minutes. Hi, Jennifer. Yay. I think Rafi and Clee are going to be here too for just a little bit. What do y'all think about doing this instead of like once a week, like once a month? Go ahead and weigh in on that if you have a thought. I'm all about the purple tonight. And I'm in a different room. Y'all let me know if you like this setting better too. So helpful to get your feedback. From real people. Y'all don't know how much it means for y'all to be here. It really is important. It's been very encouraging. Yay, it looks very cool. Thank you, Cass. Hey, congratulations, Cass, on your tattoos. I got that right. Hopefully. You're the tattoo person. Yes, exactly, Jennifer. Exactly. It's going to be more manageable for me. Mostly just coming up with the topics, right? And I want to make sure that I have a good topic for us to talk about. Yay, good. Okay. I had it right. So, all right. Well, it is 6:59. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we shall pour the tea and begin. All right. I failed to put the link to my website in the description, which is dumb. I will fix that. Is that backwards for y'all? That's backwards for y'all, isn't it? Yep, that's not helpful. Okay. Hi, ma'am. You have your tea? I like the colors in this room too. This is what I call my library. And it literally has bookshelves everywhere. And it's just a little room, but I really enjoy it. Chamomile mint. All right. Welcome, everyone. It is 7 o'clock, and I have my teacup. Welcome to Tea with Esther. Tonight, I am drinking milk oolong, which is a very light tea. It's not strong. And it's absolutely delicious. And because it's light, you can drink a whole lot of it. Everybody got your drink ready? Here we go. Cheers. So good. Welcome to the tea party. And tonight we are talking about I think it was Sarah who suggested that we talk about the different art movements like Impressionism and Expressionism, and really there's a whole lot of art movements, right? So we're going to kind of come at it from what's in a name. Why are those things, why are those movements a way to be to help us with our creativity, and how are they not good for helping us with our creativity? Because as a beginner, I didn't have any art classes growing up, okay? No art classes. You painted your living room purple with a rose-colored ceiling? Sarah, we are soulmates. I would love that. That is wonderful. Classicism, Impressionism, Expressionism. There's even some little sub movements in there that that you could talk about. Abstract expressionism, modernism, all of those are titles that we have given to uh, movements in art. And by the way, not just visual art, but music as well. So those movements didn't just apply to adding paint to paper or making sculptures. Those movements pretty much applied to the whole culture at that time. There was kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Zeitgeist that everybody it was trending topics, trending ideas, trending fashion, trending music, trending paintings. But and we're going to get to this in a little while. Who named them? The people who were in them? No. The people who were in those movements, alive during those times, did not name those movements. People after those movements started named those movements. So naming them was looking back. And the reason that I want to make that point is that I think that as a beginning artist who hadn't had any art background at all, I thought that you had to fit in one of those boxes as an artist. I thought, and that was check that one off. That one's not right. I thought that you had to understand all that to be an artist. I thought that I had to find my style within one of those movements. Cass says, I don't fit in most boxes. No, none of us do. The people who are after us, our children's children are going to name our art movements. Okay? We don't fit in boxes. And so, how can those things help us with our creativity? And I think the most important thing is that we realize that while they can inspire us, and they will inspire us, all of those people who we think of as the premier names in those movements, they didn't think of themselves as an impressionist or an expressionist or a classicist. They just did their art, and their art became something different. They were 9 times out of 10, they were persecuted for their new type of art, their new type of music. People criticized them, people booed them off the stage in some cases, didn't let them into exhibitions. So when we create our art, we need to make something that is ours and ours alone. It can be inspired by other things, but and by past movements. But if you're getting persecution, if you're getting critique on your art, it could be because the newest movement is starting to show up in your work. It could be because you're doing something different, and right now it's unacceptable, but someday it will be accepted. So I want to encourage us to think in those terms, not try to put ourselves in any little box, but to take out of those boxes all the inspiration that we can. If you study it closely, you can watch classicists inspired, impressionists inspired, expressionists inspired. It just went. You can follow the thread back. So we need to do that. Yes, Cass, just love to create and then do it and experiment and do something different. So yes, Jennifer, you leave your mark by being yourself. Yes, exactly. So I have experimented with a few things, drawn some inspiration from Surrealism. I didn't know that's what I was doing at the time, but I was laying in bed. You know how sometimes in the early morning you can lay in bed and you have your eyes closed and you're about half asleep, and you have a dream, and it really sticks with you. It's not one of those that's in the deep of the night that you go, wow, dreams, and you realize you dreamed, but you don't remember them. But in those half waking moments when you dream, I had a dream, and this is straight surrealism because that's what surrealists did. They all came up with odd stuff to paint from their dreams. Sarah says, expressionistic color with surrealist dream reality. Yeah, exactly. Mix it up, right? Let's don't buy into the box. So I tried really hard. This was very early in my visual art journey. Hi, Rafi and Clee. Welcome. Come on in. Let us know what you're drinking. So, we've been talking about the fact that we should take inspiration from all the past artistic movements, but we need to be aware that we are going to make art that's different from that. And we need to do that. That's an important thing. So, we don't want to put ourselves in those little boxes of I'm a this, I'm a that, but rather we need to make our own art and contribute to the progression of art instead of looking back. So, and I was just explaining that I did actually paint a surrealist painting. In fact, I've done it twice. The first time I did it exactly the way I had the dream, and it was very early on in my ability to paint, so it didn't turn out very well, but it was close enough. Um, and then as I progressed, I finally decided to do it again, and I really liked the results, even though it's not exactly what I dreamed. So I'm going to show it to you tonight, and we can look at this. So this is my surrealist attempt. Let's see if I can get it. Woo, get it all in here. So there's a teapot coming up over the mountains. There may or may not be someone asleep there. And there's a teacup in the foreground made out of a tree. Let's see if I can get this far enough back for you to get a glimpse. There we go. So that's my little surrealist painting. Hey, Tammy, welcome in. So thanks, Sarah. I like it too. I can't sell it, but I really like it. So that's the point, right? So I think everyone should at least try to get inspiration from some of those movements. Now, what I find that beginners do is they think they have to fit in one of those boxes. They think that's finding your style so that you'll have a word for it, right? Roguism style, yes. In the future, there will be roguism style, yes. All right. I love it. There you go, Rafi. There's another t-shirt, roguism style. So, beginners, and I was one of them, thought that I needed to come up with all these. I need to find my style, okay, and it needed to have some of those big art words in it. And when beginners say that, and they say, I'm struggling to find my style, I have a suspicion that that's what they're thinking. They're thinking they need to come up with the the known art words that will fit the way they paint. And it's just the opposite. They need to paint. We'll help you define roguism style. Did I read that right, Sarah? Yeah. Great. I love that. Roguism style. So if you're a beginning artist or you're talking to a beginning artist, it's hard to explain to them, you don't find your style finds you. It took me forever to figure that out. Type in the comments if that was a struggle for you as well. Rafi says, yes, I also believe that some will think that those are the Holy Grail because they already have a niche. Let me read that again. I also believe that some will think that those, do you mean those, the big art eras that we've been talking about, are the Holy Grail because they already have a niche? Maybe. Styles, yeah. So styles is your style will find you. I was so delighted when I started to realize that my art looked different from my art buddy's art. And if you looked at her paintings and my paintings, you could tell which were which. And that was really exciting. Um, so so when I'm talking to beginners, I like to say, your style will find you. The thing is not to try to paint like others, but to paint like yourself. Make your own niche, Mim. Exactly. Does that happen overnight? No, it only comes with going on and going on and going on. Paint every day, make your art every day or every week as often as you can. I made a goal for myself to paint every day. I don't always reach it, but it's in my routine now, and it's not hard to get back into it because it's part of my routine. So then that painting every day, every day, every day started to reveal my style. So the next thing that I wanted to say about that is Jennifer says, it's taken me years to find myself in my art. Yeah, you can't do it painting every so often and then go, oh, my art is bad. Well, yeah, it's bad. It's bad because you haven't been practicing it. Just create. You can't find your voice just thinking about singing. That's right, Rafi and Klee. That it just, you can't. You just have to do it. Your voice is different because that's the way you talk. You did that as a baby. It's all in there. It just has to come out. So you have galaxies inside. Paint them, art them, bead them, and they will come. So even in music, if I'm playing the music of another artist, a composer, the way I play it, even if I follow all those markings on the page, I'm still not going to play it the way that composer envisioned it. I'm going to play it the way Esther plays it. And that's a wonderful thing, not a bad thing. So, yeah, isn't that cool? The galaxies inside comment. That's another one of those comments that came out of my mouth while I was talking with one of my daughters. And she and it just came out of my mouth, and it was just one of those things that I'm going to write that down because that really expresses how I feel. Sarah says abstract expressionism, surrealism, impressionism. I was in love with all of them, and the more realistic of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Hey, you know what, Sarah? We can love them all. We can love them all. Okay, Cass. Oh, I'm sorry you have to go back to work. Bye. I'll be sure to let y'all know whenever we're going to have tea again. Probably be about a month. I still have trouble with some of the abstract expressionism, modernism, and uh, Jackson Pollock, right? Everybody loves to hate on Jackson Pollock. But I was doing a little research for this conversation, And there were people who were really explaining some of Jackson Pollock's work so clearly, like they didn't have any trouble understanding it. So I think part of it is that we have to have our mind open and we have to be willing to try different things. One of the things that I don't understand yet is realism and hyperrealism. And I looked through all my paintings to come up with the one that I thought people had most often said, "Oh, that looks like a painting." I mean, it looks like a photograph, right? I am not encouraged by that comment when someone says, "Oh, your painting looks just like a photograph." I'm usually like, "Well, got an F on that one." I think this one has gotten a lot of, "Oh, that looks just like a photograph." You may not be able to see it very well. So realism and hyperrealism. I don't understand what is the art in super copying a photograph. But that's just me, and I feel like it's probably just my own closed-mindedness. That if I can certainly appreciate the patience and the skill level necessary to produce something like that. But it's really hard for me to accept it as art. So, that's my closed mind, though. That's not that it's not necessarily art, it's just my closed mind. So, again, I just wanna encourage everyone, use those boxes, pull out of those boxes, try some different stuff. So, I've tried surrealism. I didn't know I was trying surrealism at the time. I've tried realism. That's kind of where I am. I guess you would call my art more expressionistic realism, because it's not really, some of them are kind of impressionism. They're just Esther is what they are, okay? But behind me, and I'm sorry about the glare of the lights on it. There's nothing I can do about that. Clee says, I can see the enjoyment of getting super zoned in and lost in the detail work of hyperrealism. It's a personal technical challenge, perhaps. Yeah, I think that's part of it, Clee. And if you find joy in that, then I think that that counts as art, right? Sarah says some want a completely realistic portrait if they are paying for it. Yes, Sarah. And on my commissions page, I actually encourage people. It's on my website, and I encourage people to look at my other art and realize that their commission will be in that style. It's not going to be different from that. So I really do. When people ask me about it, I say, please go to my website, look at my style, because whatever comes out is going to look like that. So Jennifer says, amazing skill involved. It's talking about the hyperrealism and realism. Everything I've done that's super realistic is stressful to make. I like the way it turns out, but I don't do them often because of the stress involved. Yes, Jennifer, but I think some people don't find that stressful. They find it joyful, they find it restful, and that's wonderful. It would stress me out too. Anytime I start messing around with the details of something, that's when it's sure to kill a painting for me. Uh, you do, Jennifer, you do the same thing with commissions? Yeah, I absolutely do. I take them through a mock-up. I take them through a study painting so they know exactly what it's going to look like at the end. So there's no surprises. Rafi and Klee says it's always a great practice to pre-qualify someone in that way. Look at my art. This is my style. Exactly. Exactly. Now that doesn't mean you're going to not have problems with your commissions, but I think it eliminates a lot of the problems. And I wish I could say that I've had a lot of experience with commission to back that knowledge up, but unfortunately I don't. So, but pre-qualifying people for your art's really important too, which is it's hard to do if you don't have enough people looking at your art so that you can get a feel for who it is that really appreciates your art. Does that make sense? So behind me is, I haven't tried too many just straight abstracts. No intent to create a thing at all. Worked very hard not to look at something and go, oh, that's a this. I think I'll make it more into a this, whatever that was. That happens to me whenever I do try abstract. I can get started swishy swashy pretty good, but then as soon as I see something in the painting, I'm going to try to make it that. Sarah says, I've been obsessing over trying to do realistic doggy portrait from a photo I took of someone's dog. I hate it. Yeah, a realistic doggy portrait. I always want to put my spin on it, Sarah. I always want to put my spin on it. I want to bring out the attitude of the dog or whatever, the character of the dog, and not worry so much about the details. Jennifer, thanks. Yes, that makes sense. So anytime I see something in it, then I can't keep from, or I struggle to keep from turning it into something. But this is the closest I've gotten. This painting right back here is the closest I've gotten to actually just painting an abstract and not turning it into something. A lot of people see different things in that painting. Feel free to type in the comments what you see in it. Rafi and Klee says, we know an artist who embraces that very thing, and it's her process. She begins in the complete abstract and then lets her eyes gravitate and see what's there. Then she brings those elements out. I think that is amazing. I never thought about doing that. What am I trying? I'm thinking about that. So she actually does that. Yes. Oh, I know what it is. I've done that a couple of times too, and I've not been happy with the results. I think everybody here is from the Discord group. Y'all, I'm trying to get other people in here as well, like my friends and even my art friends. They're not showing up, but that's okay. Time will tell. You see a building covered in either a veil or webs. Yeah, okay. That's very typical. So the times that I've done that, but anyway, over on Discord, Rafi and Klee, I posted that picture of the one that sold that I thought was awful. That started out as an abstract. And then I saw a flower in it, and then I made a flower out of it, and I never have been very happy with that one. I'm hoping the person who bought it was happy with it. Oh, I never thought of that. Rafi says he sees a forest on a lake, or Clee, one of them, And yeah, I never thought about looking at it as if you are looking down on a map, maybe. Or, oh no, I see what you're saying. Like there's a reflection in the lake. So what's cool about real abstracts though is you get to turn that into whatever you want it to be. Um, yes, the artist did put their meaning into it. It could be an aerial view too, right? Now you see two forests with two lakes. There you go. It just depends on how you look at it, right? When I was making it, um, and when I finished it, I titled it "The Way of," because it kind of looks like a door, a curtain door that's opening, and it's a really big door, and maybe there are people going through it. Ma'am, yes, the bridge uh, image is the most common one when people look at it. They see a bridge. Some people even see the Golden Gate Bridge. Whatever. That's not what I was painting. But it could also be a door and people are going through it. It could be a bed where people are resting, so it could be the way of rest. It could be the way of freedom. It could be, there's just so many things, and I really wanted to give it kind of an enigmatic title to go with that. So again, I took from one of those boxes and I let that inspire my painting, but it's my painting. It's different from anybody else's. And it's not really my style. I mean, it is my style because it's me, but I don't spend a lot of time on abstracts. Great title, by the way. Thanks. Rafi and Clee say, I love this about abstracts and I love talking with people about what they see and feel. I think that's one of the things that abstracts give to us that more realistic paintings don't necessarily give to us. They could if we stopped and thought about it, maybe. Give us that thing to think about. We do like to put meanings on things, whether they had them when we made them or not. And I think, Rafi, you're right about when we create a painting, we don't always know what it means until afterwards. And that really like took some pressure off me because I was feeling like, well, my art is just pretty. It doesn't really have a meaning. But then I realized some of mine do have a meaning. And afterwards, I'll usually come up with that. I'll look at it and go, oh, that's why I painted that. So what they also can, non-abstract, because subject matter can be attached to such varied feelings for different people. Isn't that true? Even in any art, one of the things that came out, not in the Discord group, but in the other places, I posted those pirate photos that I had so much fun making and editing. On a couple of other places, and y'all got the idea that they were fun, but the other places got the idea that they were a little dark. Now, value-wise, they were dark. I edited them that way, but they just thought it really was too dark, too offensive, really. So, subject matter can be attached to varied feelings for different people. You're right. Yeah. I giggled that whole morning taking the photos and then looking at them and cropping them and editing them. I spent the whole morning giggling. They were fun. But they're not a side of me that people are as comfortable with, probably. So, the kids at school love my pirate. They also love my unicorn. So, that's one of the reasons I like to spend a lot of time with kids. They don't have a I say they don't have all those inhibitions. Some of them do. And guess where they get them? From their parents. So what's next? Though that's my take on the whole impressionism and expressionism and all of that. Sarah, did we cover the topic the way you wanted to? Rafi says, I once got into a full-on argument with a self-proclaimed pirate on a sidewalk in Key West, but I still love me some pirate humor. Did you really? You'll have to tell us that story on Patreon or something, Rafi. Sarah says, I have painted two purely 3D-ish, Trompe-l'oeil-ish pieces, one of my mom's hand-sewn teddy bear and one of Rosie, my Boston Terrier. I love them, but a gallery owner hated them, not painterly enough. You need a different gallery. Some galleries would love them. Galleries are totally different, Sarah, just depending on which ones you walk into. So I'm sorry that happened. But Trump Loy, that was really popular whenever I was building my house, and I tried to kind of get the feel in my house. Someday, when it's clean, I'll give y'all a tour. And that was way, way, way before I became a painter, by the way. A painter. I just wanted it really bad and I couldn't afford to have it done, so I just decided to do it myself. It couldn't be that hard, right? So I have art on my walls, literally on my walls, my own art. What does painterly mean? Sounds kind of pompous. I think that would be as opposed to photographical, like super realistic. Rafi says, mayhaps we will tell that story. Oh, that's funny. The pirate in question attempted to plunder a bracelet of my. Whoops! Oh no. Okay. Yes, we would like to hear that story. This pirate does not plunder anything except time and silliness. So, painterly. What I think also, Jennifer, it could also refer to being able to see like brush strokes or pencil strokes. Does that make sense? Painterly also maybe what are some other things that painterly could mean? So I wouldn't think that a hyper realistic portrait or painting or drawing would strike me as painterly. I would think that that would strike me um, as anything but painterly, but something where you can detect brush strokes and the hand of the artist, maybe. Clee says, I use painterly, probably inappropriately, to describe anything having to do with being a painter, i.e., Rafi is an artist of the painterly variety. Hey, perfect. Yes, as an adverb, right? This grammar mama says that's an adverb usage of the word painterly. In other words, he's a painter, not a sculptor. He's not a fabric artist. He's painterly. Very good. I love it. So, does that help, Jennifer, with painterly? What does it mean? What are y'all drinking tonight? For those of you who came in late, I'm drinking milk oolong. You were mostly being sarcastic. And I was trying to answer it perfectly. It does sound pompous. It can sound pompous. Painterly, utterance of sound that rhymes with faint early. I mean, I don't want to wake up early. There you go. Oh, y'all are fun. Fun stuff. So, just in case somebody else didn't know what painterly means, what even that term is, sometimes I think we assume people know stuff and they don't. So, I'm really excited because not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, I'm going to have cataract surgery and hopefully I will get my right eye back. That will be wonderful. Yeah, Jennifer, I forget there's not sarcastic tone in text. Yes, and you also have to remember that Esther does not always pick up on sarcasm, whether it's typed or whether it's said. Sometimes she takes you seriously. So, not always, but sometimes I just miss it. Goes. Phew. So, that is also the first day of school for us. Sarah says, I would love to use this conversation on art styles to spark an art challenge. Loose and choppy, impressionistic dabs of color laid purposely down with no thought of photographic realism, painterly. Okay. What do you think, Rafi and Clee? Do we need to have a collab lab with that? Or do we just want to do a challenge? All right. So, what else? School is starting Monday next for me, unless things change. So, y'all send good thoughts my way. Yes. So, what else? I am about to come out with my next collection release, which is called Beaches and Creatures. So y'all seen a couple of those paintings over on Discord, those of you who are there. What else? We're almost done. So I would love, I have trouble participating in the collab labs because I usually have paintings lined up already. I have very seldom had the problem of I don't know what to paint. So thank you, y'all. I've had this problem for a couple of years now where my left eye, which is my non-dominant eye, is still pretty good comparatively, but my right eye is super bad. And I had surgery last summer they thought would fix it and it didn't fix it. And so now we're going to do the cataract surgery and hope that will do it. So I have one eye that it's very odd. You have one eye that works and one eye that doesn't. So I'm really looking forward to getting that fixed. So all right. Any last questions or thoughts you want to share? You guys, last time I shared the link to my live studio chat for my release with y'all. I generally only share that with the members, my subscribers to my newsletter. So I would like to encourage you to go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. I can put that link in the Discord for those of you who are there. Basically, though, you just go to my website and you can sign up right there on the front page. So www.estherljones.com. Yes, Jennifer, I do sometimes have to close one to focus better. Especially like driving at night is a nightmare. So I have really been very glad to be stuck at home since March. My right eye causes there to be multiple images and they're all fuzzy images. If you're thinking about driving at night and you just see the light, yay, y'all are signed up. Good. Let me know if you got the one I sent out Saturday, Rafi and Clee. So yeah, and so this one, I actually, if I get something up really close, that's how close I have to get to focus with my right eye. Okay, and this is how close I can focus with my left eye. So it's very weird. Yay. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all got it. So if y'all sign up, you know what's interesting? I didn't get a notification that y'all signed up, which is interesting. I need to go check on that on the website because maybe other people signed up that I didn't know about either. That would be lovely. Yeah, I didn't get a notification. I almost always do, but I'm in that website at least once a week messing about in there. So, and who knows what damage I do while I'm in there. So, but yeah, that way you guys will get the invitation. If you're signed up, you'll get the invitation to the live studio chat. And I'm thinking about, what do y'all think about? I'm thinking about doing the similar thing that Jennifer and Mem and who is the other the sister? Is it your sister, Jennifer? Did on y'all's, and like having numbers and suggesting that people go ahead and purchase right then. They are up on the website and they will be in my e-commerce store. So basically all I have to do is send you a link to it instead of having to send an invoice. But I'm thinking about doing that with numbers and all that stuff just to encourage people to purchase. Yeah, I think it's a really good plan. Rafi and Clee said, do it. We're going to try to do something like that too. Now it's just a matter of getting Shannon. Yes, thank you. Sorry, Jennifer. Sorry, Shannon. I knew there were 3 of you. That's good. Under the circumstances, I'm doing good to be able to know that. So, yeah, I'm thinking about really doing that. I think that'll be a fun and encouraging thing. Now it's just a matter of getting people in there. Besides you wonderful Wonder Quester peoples, I call you Wonder Questers because we're all on the quest for wonder together. We're all wanting to see the music and hear the colors and awaken the wonder. That's what artists do. So, all right then. If we're done, we are done. Have a lovely evening. I looked up painterly, says Sarah. Clee is correct. Related to painting, plus another. Rendering of forms and images in terms of color or tonal relations rather than contour or line. More confused now? So in other words, if you use a coloring book and you just color in the lines, you're not painterly. Jennifer says, soon my daughter's artwork will be added to the inventory. That is so fun, Jennifer. That, like, your whole family is into it. That's great. That makes me excited. Until next time. All right. Take care. I love you all. Thank you again for showing up. And we will have tea again in about a month. All right. Somebody give me an idea for what we're going to talk about in case I can't come up with one on my own. All right. Bye.